of it that there's another one and another one. I'm like, why is my day being hectic? Why I'm not feeling like I want to feel? So I do journal a lot. That really
Love
helps me.
that.
That practice really helps me. So every day, I try to do it every day. After waking up, I would write down three things that I am grateful for today, because gratitude has changed my life literally. Like when I started gratitude, practicing gratitude last year, I see more. I see what I have. I live in abundance. Like I'm not lacking anymore. And that's,
Once you start seeing it, you see more
yeah,
happen. Like
yeah,
even I always say, like if you start by just saying, so for example, I really love like my morning cup of coffee. And on the
okay.
worst days, you'll be like, I've got a morning cup of coffee. But then you're right, you go, oh my gosh, and then I also love that and I love that. And it just by filling your head with positivity, it makes you
Yeah.
feel better, doesn't it?
And also like every day matters. Like every day I find something beautiful. And at the end of the
Oh,
day, I'm like, oh, I experienced that. Even like chat with someone, like someone can tell you something and it clicks and you have that aha moment. You're like, that was such a beautiful conversation that I've had with someone. So I think that it's easier for me just now because I've been practicing for a while. But I see more, I experience more, I am more present, I'm more in the moment, and this is all mine. Like this is all what I'm going through, and it's just beautiful.
oh, that makes me so happy.
I am very happy. I'm so happy that I can do that now, because back in the days, ooh, that wouldn't be a thing. I wouldn't be able to do that because I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware of what I have. I wasn't aware of myself. I didn't like myself as well. I was constantly anxious about literally everything. When now
Mm,
I can switch that thinking for a positive thinking. I'm not a big fan of toxic positivity, because I think that we should
no.
always acknowledge our emotions. And you feel sad, that's absolutely fine. You have a right to feel sad, and you can experience many emotions at the same time. You can be happy but sad in a moment. So
Definitely. I
yeah.
think it's important to, when you feel like that as well, completely sit in your emotions and kind of go, okay, where's this negative thought coming from? You know, you
Hmm.
go like, why am I feeling a little bit worse today? Or and sometimes you can just go, it's it's all right. I had a bad night's sleep last night, or that thing happened and someone said something, and acknowledging it and going, this is where my thoughts come from. It's
Hmm.
all right. It's totally valid and it's allowed to feel like that. Whereas I think you're right, people they talk themselves out of it, and toxic positivity is one of the worst things. I think
Good
especially when
vibes, good vibes only.
yeah,
I
woo!
hate it. I hate
No.
it.
That's it. But I think a lot of, you're right, people on the internet will
Mhm.
just constantly show this positive side. And then if you are having a bad day, you go, well, why are they always having
Yeah.
a good day? And they forget, oh, maybe they posted that reel, but they made that reel 2 weeks ago when they were feeling
Hmm.
great. They might be
Hmm.
crying today. Rather
Hmm.
than acknowledging it, it kind of can bring up guilt and make us feel like
Oh
we're not
yeah,
worthy.
yeah. That's so true. But also, like, I think that we should be more aware of who we follow on social media. Like,
Yeah.
follow people that bring leaders, follow people that bring some educational value, people that want to. There's so many beautiful people, honestly, out there giving so many educational stuff for free, and you can learn so much from them. But also, it's very easy to have that access to them. You can always send them a DM, you can always get in touch with them. And that's a beautiful power of social media. Like there's a good and bad side of social media, but especially like in the last year, I find it really beautiful. I've met so many people through social media, and I was like,
Your social media friends are like the
I
most
like real
people.
friends. They are real friends.
Honestly, like especially when you're doing something like for me, I love my friends so much in real life, but none
Yeah.
of them have started a business. Whereas,
Hmm.
a lot of other people like yourself that are putting themselves out there, it's so nice to kind of be like, oh hi.
I'm
We
not
all
the only
support
one.
each
I'm not the only one.
other. Yeah,
You need
absolutely.
you need someone to relate to, and
Yeah.
that's really good. And it's so easy to find that kind of people out there, and possibly make a lifetime friendships.
Yeah, like you say, it kind of stops that feeling of feeling alone. And I think you're right.
Yeah.
If you cultivate your feed
Hmm.
and say like I used to follow the Kardashians, for example.
Me too.
I realized that following them was making me look at my own body and go,
Mm.
oh, and instead, then I just went through, and I do this quite a lot because sometimes you just grow out of people anyway. I just unfollow them and like fill my feed with positive people and people who are real and, like you say,
Hmm.
educate. this and that, and you just feel so much better. And now I go through my feed, and on a good day it makes me happier, and on a brain foggier day, worse day, it boosts me and makes you feel kind of like a hug, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
like an
it's like a
internet
hug.
hug.
It's like a social media hug.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like it.
At the
Are we
beginning,
mad? I don't know.
probably. At the beginning of this year, I deleted my Instagram because I followed so many people. I was like, it does not resonate with me anymore. I'm not that kind of person anymore. And I followed people that, only shows you the products that you have to buy to look in a certain way, because there's only one way to look. Like, you can't look in any different way.
Mhm.
And I was like, this is not what I want. This is not who I am. So I deleted it, and I've made a new account.
Mhm.
And literally every time, whatever I feel, whatever I'm going through, I go to social media, and it never puts me down. Like, I don't feel like I'm not enough.
Oh,
Well,
I love
yeah, like, I follow people that are humans. They are humans.
you're real. Well, that's it. I have like my personal account, and then I have the
Uh-huh.
happiness firm.
Mhm.
And I didn't even realize this till like I had the happiness firm. But on my main account, I'd really overthink if I posted a picture, and I'd think like,
Mm.
how does everyone look at that? Like, what do they think about when they look at my feed or whatever? And I'd really really overthink it. I panic and worry about caption and this and that. And
Mm.
now I post pretty much most days on the happiness firm without even a second thought, because I know that the people who follow me and who I follow,
Mhm.
we're on the same page. They
Yeah,
won't judge
yeah.
me, they'll cheer it on. Whereas now I barely post on my main page, but that's more of like a connection.
Because they are your people. Like, they want,
Yeah,
they need this content from you. They need that message to be delivered from you.
you've got to find the right community, haven't you? And then, like
Hmm.
you say, once you find it, you
Yeah.
feel a million times better.
You feel
So
like you belong to this world.
yes, yeah, definitely. When you find
Because
your people.
because when I struggled with anxiety, I really felt like there's nobody else out there struggling with anxiety. It's just me. There's nobody else going through what I'm going through. So it was so difficult for me to speak up and talk about it to other people, because I was ashamed that I was going through
No,
that.
if people don't talk about it, then
Mhm.
why would you feel like talking about it?
Yeah, yeah. When now it's kind of natural that people have anxiety.
Normal.
That's absolutely normal, and I don't have
That's
to.
people.
But also, when you have conversations in real life with people, and I I don't find it difficult to admit it, that, oh, I struggled, or I have anxiety, I have negative thoughts. Like, I'm not afraid of being judged anymore by other people, because that's who I am. That's the real me. So if
Love
someone
that.
someone accepts this or not, that's their choice. It has nothing to do with me.
Yes. When you start to realize that other people's reaction to you is on
Mm.
them, not on you, like your whole perspective changes.
Oh,
I used to
and
be
yes.
so worried about people not liking me or whatever. I'm like, do I want them to? Do I like
Yeah,
them back? No. Like,
exactly. I think that's the first question that we should ask ourselves. Do I like them?
yeah.
Do I like them?
Should we be taking on their judgment if we wouldn't go to them for advice? No. Like, I'm not bothered. I don't care.
Because that they see their world through their lenses, not yours.
Yeah.
And
Well,
most of the time, it has nothing to do with you. If people project on you, and it's their own world. It's not even you. It's not personal.
yeah, I saw something. It was like, always remember we're the main character in our own story. We're all in our own movies, whatever,
Yeah.
and we're the main character, and everyone's the main character in their own story. So often, when someone acts selfishly or projects, it's because something's going on in their life, and they don't remember that you're the main character in your story. And the sooner we realize that, the better.
Yeah. What is your self-care routine? I'm not talking like about physical, but mental self-care routine. Do you have anything that you do daily or weekly or monthly for yourself?
I make sure that I take time out for myself. So I remember for a while I was wrestling with the fact, am I an extrovert or an introvert? And I was always a absolute hardcore introvert. I think when I was at the height of my anxiety, I was like, I don't like hanging out with people. It drains me. I don't, but I realize now I'm an extroverted introvert. So I love spending time with people, but then I also have to give myself that recharge
It's
time.
it's called ambivert. You're in
Oh, I love
between.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
you're in between. Yeah, that's who I am. That's me as well.
I think most of us are to an extent, aren't we? And you
Yeah.
go, so I always make sure that if I've had, it sounds really weird to say, but a social event, or even if I've just seen friends,
Hmm.
I need to give myself recharge time the
I'm
day
the
after
same.
or the weekend
Hmm.
after. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
kind of knowing when you will get burnt out, because it's not just through work that we get burnt out,
Hmm.
it's through hanging out with people
Yeah,
too much.
yeah.
And I definitely felt that when the world opened. And I think just being aware of how I'm feeling was really important. And I have a job as well as a happiness firm. So making sure I was juggling them okay without
Hmm.
limiting my business, but while still being a good employee, while I can transfer over to being full-time self-employed eventually. Looking after myself rather than burning it out. It's just self-awareness. That's what I preach.
Yes, yeah, it really starts from self-awareness, because if you're
Yeah,
aware of your own behavior, because we have control our own life. We do
yeah,
have control, but we are not aware that we have control of our own life. So we grow up in different families, and we have that self-limiting beliefs often, and we think that the way we were raised is the only one way to live life. And we look at our parents being like, if they live the life that they lived, it's the only one way. I can't change it anything because that's who I am, which is not true. And once you become aware of it, that that's your life and you can do whatever you want. It's difficult because people are gonna judge you. They will judge you, but it's gonna make you 100% happier person as well.
well, that's it. I think, from my family's perspective, the idea of me wanting to go self employed and start a business when I'd never done that before in my life and had no experience, they were like, whoa, what are you doing? And
Hmm.
then when I realized that they were projecting their own fears, and, obviously your family wants you to have stability, but it's because I
Yeah.
was just living a different life to
Hmm. Hmm.
maybe what they had at my age. And you're right, like we can choose.
Hmm.
We can choose what we want to do. And sometimes the people who are closest around us, we realize that maybe they're influencing us a little bit too much.
Yeah. Hmm.
And you go, it's all right to be different.
Hmm.
My friends will fully support the fact I'm doing something a bit
Hmm.
wacky
Hmm.
rather than going for a normal job. I'm going with my heart. So, yeah, I think it's important to take yourself on dates as well. Like, I'll take myself for a coffee. That's like my time, or getting my
Hmm.
nails done. And,
Hmm.
every time I look down, I've got lovely designs on my nails.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's just knowing what kind of makes you tick and what makes you feel wholesome and
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, we have to detach ourselves sometimes from friends
Yeah,
and family because they know old version of you,
yeah,
and the new version of you sometimes does not align with them, and they can't understand how you can choose your own path and do something different. Um, and I think that's what I did because with my family and my friends, sometimes you have to just let go and leave something behind. And some people cannot be anymore with you on that journey because they don't understand it, and if they don't support you, they shouldn't be around you really.
exactly. It's
'Cause-
like different chapters, aren't they? I think
yeah.
everyone's, and some are
Mhm.
meant to come with you for longer chapters, but
Yeah.
some people are, I think once you become at peace with that and don't cling on to old friendships that maybe don't serve you anymore, and
Mhm.
kind of wish them well and go, that was in my past.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the best thing, yeah, because otherwise it influences and we stay still, don't we? If
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
don't encourage the newer version of yourself,
Yeah.
um, then nothing's going to change.
Yeah, nothing changes if nothing changes. I really like that quote because
Love that.
it's so it's so true.
I need to get that tattooed on me somewhere. Like honestly.
That's very true. Like if you
Yeah.
if you don't change anything, if you don't get out of your comfort zone, then yeah, you can
Well,
have
it comes with courage, doesn't it, as well?
that's
If you don't
that's
have that courage to believe in that future self.
yeah.
Like I remember someone said to me, we were really close for a few years, and then he was like, oh, you think you're capable of more than other people, if that makes sense. Like you think you deserve more. And I was like, I deserve exactly what I can. I know what
Mhm.
my potential is. I'm
Mhm.
not going to hold myself back. It's when people say you've changed kind of thing. Yes, I have.
We are supposed to
Yeah.
change. Hello.
Yes. that's what we're meant to do. Yeah. And it was kind of that thing of, why are you reaching for your dreams when I'm not reaching for my dreams? And it was almost that jealousy. And
Yeah.
it was a very odd situation. But then once I let our friendship go, I realized there was nothing wrong with me.
Mm.
I hadn't done anything wrong. And
I think it's people fears and insecurities that you have courage to do something and they don't, so they won't let you go.